Hi everyone, today we are going to see how to make this message dynamic. So last video we just add the message here for the user, for the end user. Now let's make this to be a dynamic message. So what we want to say here is we want to say welcome and then the name of the user, and the user should see this message just once. So we are going to use here a data source and an event. Okay, so let's get that going. So first thing, we need to get the information of the user. So the way we can do that, it's using a data source. So I'm gonna add here data source, and I'm gonna say show user logged in information. So I will search here for, so that information is on the user. Let's see here, user, and the user ID is gonna be not from the record ID, it's gonna be from the logged in user. There you go. Basically, this data source is gonna load the record from the logged in user. So that's what we have. So let's go back here. Let's go back to our message now and see if that works. So welcome digital experience, and I'm gonna say here, oops, I forgot to, so I want to prefill, right? So I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna select show user logged in information. So basically we are going to use this data source. And then once we do double click here, I'm gonna say welcome. And then here we are going to have the user information. So I want to show the name. Let's see the full name, how that goes. Just the first name, I guess, better. Welcome. I'm gonna say actually hello. And then that's it. So that's my simple message there. Basically here, what is happening is that data source we are going to get from the first name, and then we are going to print that. So let's publish that. Okay, so if I go back to the digital experience and if I refresh the page, and here we have hello Lucy, welcome to our dashboard, right? So okay, so now we are prefilling the message. So now what we need to do, we need to show this message just once. As you can see here, if I refresh the page, or if the user goes to, let's say, support and then come back, it's always seeing this message here. Let's say we don't want to do that, we want to show the message just once. So how do we do that? We can use the events. So here I have again my message, and here we have on the top the events. We can do a mix of both. So first I need to enable the events, because when I enable the events, basically every time the user now, any user accesses this message, we are going to register into the events object that this user accesses this page, this message, and which user access, right? So if you have 1,000 user access this page, we are going to create 1,000 records into the events showing that. So that's why we have to enable that, so you are aware that it's going to create a lot of records, but just for this message. Once I enable that, now I have to create a filter to define when the message should show. In my case, when the show message, when the current message, we want to show once per user. So we don't, which means that if the user B accesses this message, he's still seeing the message because it's the same message. So we have a scenario where the user A accesses the message, he sees the message. If the user B accesses the message, he see the message. So that's per user. I have another scenario here where is once per record. If the message was not record detailed, so if a user A accesses record A, he would see the message. If a user B accesses the record A, he would not see the message. That's because we show a message once per record. We have an option to show per record and user. So if user A accesses the record and we show the message there, if user B accesses the record as well, the same record A, we would show the message for that user. But if they access again, we would not show, because we show just once per record user or just per user. So in our case here, it's per user because it's just a welcome. And once it's done, we click here and publish. So now if I go back here, I have Lucy here. Lucy's seeing the message. So if I refresh, Lucy's gonna see the message because we just published. Now if I go back to support and come back to the home page, Lucy's not going to see that message anymore. If I go to any page again and come back to the home page, Lucy's not going to see that message anymore. So that's how the event works. But let's say I just want to test. Now I want to actually make Lucy see that message again. So we have an option here in events where we can clean. So if I was just testing, I can come here and delete all. So all the events that we create for that message is going to be deleted. So now if I go back here to the Lucy, with the Lucy user, I'm going to see the message again, and I'm going to register one record for this user. So when the user accesses again, so let me refresh, the user is not going to see that record. But let's say I want to be very specific. I want to just this user here, I want to delete the record to test. Or let's say the user called and he said, oh, I didn't see the message. So we can enable the message just for that user if you want. We have the name, Lucy. So let's go back to the message again. Click events. And then we can clean specific for the record if you want, if you have that in the record. Or we can click specific for the user. So let's find the Lucy user here. And here we have. As you can see here, we do have we don't have a record, and then we do have the register here for the user. So let's delete that, and then there you go. So if I refresh the page here again with Lucy, I should see that message back. And that's how we make this message to show just once per user. Okay, so I think this is now for this video. The next video we can see about how to make the message show only when a specific criteria is met. We want to create a message here for when we have a case that needs to be looked at. So that's going to be the next video. If you have other scenario that you'd like to hear, you can go to EvoluteMessage and go in contacts here on the top. It's loading. Or you can also, we have a chat here that you can send a message, or you have a contact us where we get an email and then we will answer in 24 hours. Please feel free to put any suggestion or any scenario that you want to achieve and you don't know how. If you don't want to spend too much time, just send us a scenario and we might create a video with that scenario. Thank you very much and have a good day.